Have you ever, been there? Spending hours feels like ages, looking at your notes, reading the same thing over and over, putting in that seat time, but nothing's really sticking.
Oh, yeah. Or you cram, right, the night before.
Totally. You pass the test, maybe, but then a week later, it's like, poof, gone.
It's incredibly frustrating.
Yeah.
And, you know, it feels like such a waste of energy.
It really is. And the core of that, the thing we often miss, is that most of us, well, we aren't really taught how to learn effectively.
Exactly. We kind of mix up just memorizing stuff like that rereading you mentioned with actually understanding it deeply.
It's like you've got this amazing car, but nobody ever showed you how to drive it properly. You're just stuck in first gear.
That's a great way to put it. And that's what we're diving into today. Our source is Study Less, Study Smart by Marty Lobdell.
Right. He taught college success for, 40 years?
40 years. And he saw that students weren't struggling because they were, lazy or anything. They just didn't have the right strategy, the right tools for learning.
So this isn't just like opinions. It's based on research, right? Strategies to actually make you a better learner.
Absolutely. Our goal here is to pull out those key insights for you so you can study less, yes, but learn more. And not just for school, but for your whole career, really. Any learning you do.
Okay, so expect some surprising ideas, maybe some simple rules that feel obvious once you hear them, and some really practical stuff that could change how you study. Sound good?
Let's do it.
All right, where do we start? Foundational stuff.
Yeah, let's start with concentration. Lobdell noticed something pretty stark. Most students, their focus just kind of drops off after maybe 20, 30 minutes.
Oh, I feel that mental fog rolling in.
Right. But here's the interesting part. He also knew this med student who could genuinely study focused for 6 hours straight.
6 hours! Wow, so it's not like an innate thing you either have or don't.
Exactly. It shows that these high-level study skills, that kind of focus, it's something you can actually develop. It's trainable.
Okay, that's encouraging. But what about when you do hit that wall after 20 minutes?
Well, here's the kicker Lobdell points out. Pushing through when you're not actually learning. It's like you're punishing yourself for studying.
Punishing yourself? How so?
It makes studying feel boring, draining, discouraging. You start to dread it. So you actually make yourself less likely to study effectively next time. It backfires.
Huh. Okay, that flips the script. So instead of powering through.
Rule number 1, reinforce your study behavior. The minute you feel that focus slipping, or you realize you're just reading words without them sinking in, take a break.
Just stop. Like, admit defeat.
Not defeat. Strategy. Short break, like 5 minutes.
5 minutes, okay? And what do you do in those 5 minutes?
This is key. It needs to be a small reward, a little treat for the good work you did do. Grab a coffee, a soda, text a friend real quick, do some jumping jacks, listen to one song, have a small snack, something quick and enjoyable.
So it's a reinforcement, not just zoning out.
Precisely. It rewards the focused effort. And that little 5-minute reset, it lets you come back and get another solid 20 to 30 minutes of effective studying in.
That makes sense, like interval training for the brain.
Kind of. And then Lobdell suggests at the end of your whole study session, plan a bigger reward. Watch that show you like, go get pizza, take a nice long shower, something to look forward to.
So you're associating studying with positive things, not just drudgery.
Exactly. And don't forget those little pockets of time during the day, between classes, on the bus, coffee break at work. Those 5 or 10-minute chunks used effectively, they really add up.
Okay, smart breaks. Got it. What about where we study? Does that matter as much?
Oh, hugely. Think about where people usually study. Bedroom, kitchen table, living room couch.
Yeah, pretty standard spots.
But what are those places really for? Your bedroom signals sleep. Your brain wants to nap there.
Guilty. Definitely drifted off a few times trying to read in bed.
Right. The kitchen table screams food. The living room has the TV, the games. Distractions are built in.
So those places are working against you, basically.
They often are. Which leads to rule number 2. Create a dedicated study area.
Okay, sounds serious. Do I need, like, a home office?
Not at all. It can be super simple. Lobdell's classic technique is the study lamp. Get a cheap desk lamp. Turn it on only when you are actively, effectively studying.
And when you take that 5-minute break?
Turn it off. Do something else. Off. Over time, just flicking that switch becomes this powerful psychological cue. Lamp on equals focus time.
Wow. That's clever. Simple, but I can see how that would work.
It really does. And yeah, definitely no studying in bed. The association with sleep is just too strong.
Okay, point taken. What if you have to use the kitchen table?
Clear everything else off. No food, no mail, just your study stuff. Make it feel like a workspace. Same for the living room. TV off, phone silenced, distractions minimized.
What about music? Lots of people say they need music to study.
Lobdell addresses this. If it's truly just background noise, maybe instrumental, and you don't notice it, fine. But if you're singing along, even in your head, or tapping your foot,
Then you're not fully focused on the material?
exactly, your attention is split. In that case, turn it off. And the cell phone. Non-negotiable for real focus time. It needs to be off or silenced and out of sight.
Makes sense. Libraries are good too, I guess.
Ideal, really. They're built for focus. If you find even the library distracting, grab a study carrel. That little cubicle sends a strong time-to-work signal. And remember, turn off that study lamp when you take your break. Reinforce the habit.
Okay, environment sorted. What's next on the list?
The next big idea is about your mindset, your intention. Think about this. Ever glance at your watch, and then, like, 2 seconds later, someone asks the time, and you have absolutely no idea what you just saw?
Huh, yes. All the time. Or reading a whole news article and then struggling to remember even the main point 5 minutes later.
That's it. That's what Lobdell calls incidental learning. It's passive, it's unreliable, it just doesn't stick very well.
Okay, so the opposite is?
Intentional learning. Rule number 3 is intend to learn the material. Simple, but profound.
You mean like consciously tell yourself that?
Yes. Before class, before reading, before taking notes, make a conscious thought. Okay, I'm here to learn this. I intend to understand this. It sounds almost too basic, but it shifts your brain into a more receptive, active state. It primes you for learning.
Interesting. Like setting an intention before meditating or something.
Kind of, yeah. It directs your focus. And that leads right into rule number 4. Discover the meaning.
Meaning. Okay, how does that work?
Things are easier to learn and remember when they mean something to us, when they connect to stuff we already know. Lobdell has this great demo. He reads out 14 random letters. HWAEDPNPESYDYA.
Okay. Yeah, no way I'd remember that sequence.
Exactly. Almost nobody can. But then he rearranges those exact same letters into HAPPYWEDNESDAY.
Happy Wednesday. Okay, easy. I can remember that.
See? Same letters, but now they have meaning. Our brains latch onto meaning. Trying to memorize meaningless stuff is incredibly hard work.
That makes total sense. And this connects to how we process information, right?
Absolutely. This is rules 5 and 6 about deeper processing. Another Lobdell classroom experiment. He split the class. One group looked at a list of words and just estimated how many vowels were in each word.
Okay, surface level task.
Right. The other group looked at the same list, but they had to rate how useful each item would be if they were stranded on a desert island. 1 to 5 scale.
Ah, thinking about application meaning.
Exactly. Now, neither group was told to memorize the words. But guess what happened when he tested their recall later?
The island group remembered more.
Way more. Almost twice as many words, like 10 or 11 compared to 5 or 6 for the vowel counters. Just because they processed the words more deeply, they thought about their meaning and use.
Wow. So it wasn't about trying harder, just thinking differently.
Precisely. Counting vowels is surface processing. Thinking about usefulness is deeper processing. So rule 5, discover the meaning. Rule 6, always engage in deeper processing.
So how do we, do that? Deeper processing.
You have to actively think about the material. Ask yourself, how does this connect to what I already know? How could I use this? What does this concept imply? If it's confusing, don't just gloss over it. Ask questions.
Ask the teacher or classmates.
Yes, or a tutor. Saying, I'm still unclear about how X relates to Y is a sign of an engaged learner, not a dumb question. Teachers appreciate that.
It's easy to just memorize definitions, isn't it? But that's not really understanding.
No. Lobdell tells a story about a student who aced high school calculus by just memorizing formulas, got to university, hit the same concepts, and totally bombed. Had to retake the course because he never actually understood it the first time.
Ouch. Been there. Maybe not with calculus, but yeah.
Deeper processing, thinking about application connections, is what builds that solid foundation. The more you understand one thing, the easier it is to learn the next thing because you see how it all fits together. Chemistry helps with biology, psychology helps with history.
It moves you from just being trained on facts to being truly educated.
Exactly. You build a web of knowledge, not just isolated bits.
Okay, so deeper processing for concepts. But what about those pesky facts, like dates, names, specific numbers? You said rote memorization isn't great.
Right. The atomic number of oxygen is 8 kind of fact.
Yeah.
Trying to drill that in by repetition alone is tough, and you can easily mix things up.
So what's the smarter way?
Rule number 7, use mnemonic devices for facts. These are memory aids, little tricks or gimmicks, as Lobdell calls them.
Mnemonics, like ROYG, BIV for the rainbow colors.
Exactly. That's an acronym, a word formed from the first letters. FOIL in math. First, outer, inner, last. Homes for the Great Lakes. Radio right atrium is deoxygenated for the heart. Same for nerves. Sensory afferent, motor efferent.
Okay, acronyms. Got it. What else?
Acrostics. These are phrases where the first letter of each word corresponds to the fact you need to remember, like, my very eager mother just served us 9 pizzas for the planets, back when Pluto was included.
Right, or kings play chess on Friday with great spirit for biology taxonomy.
Perfect. Or even simple rhymes like, in 1492, or righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And Lobdell mentions sometimes making them a bit weird or even slightly naughty makes them stick even better.
Huh. Okay, noted. Weird and naughty works. What was the third type?
Interacting images. This one's really powerful. You create a vivid mental image linking the fact together. His examples for calories per gram are great.
Oh yeah, tell me those.
Carbohydrates have 4 calories per gram. Picture a car with 4 wheels.
Okay, car, 4 wheels. Got it.
Proteins also have 4 calories per gram. Picture a fancy pro car, still got 4 wheels.
Pro car, 4 wheels. Nice.
Fats have 9 calories per gram. Picture a big fat cat with 9 lives.
Fat cat, 9 lives. I won't forget that.
And alcohol, 7 calories per gram. You could picture the word alcohol having 7 letters, or maybe think of Seagram's 7 whiskey. The image locks the number to the item.
That's brilliant, making fact visual and meaningful, even if the connection is absurd.
Exactly. It hacks your memory system.
Okay, so we have tools for facts now. What about getting information out of, say, a textbook? Reading effectively.
Ah, yes. This brings us to Rules 8 and 9, and a technique Lobdell champions called SQ4R.
SQ4R, let me guess, SQRRR.
Close. Survey, question, read, record, recite, review.
Okay, break that down, survey.
Before you dive in, just skim the chapter. Look at headings, pictures, summaries. Get the overall structure, the big picture.
Like looking at a map before you start driving.
Good analogy. Then Q, question. As you survey, turn those headings into questions. What are the main types of? How does X affect Y?
Why questions?
Because our brains learn better when seeking answers. Lobdell uses the FedEx logo example, that hidden arrow between the E and X. When someone points it out and you look for it, you always see it. Asking questions primes your brain to find the answers in the text.
Ah, okay. Active seeking, not passive reading. So survey, question, then read.
Right. Read actively, looking for answers to your questions. And as you read, record. Take notes. Maybe in the margins, maybe on a separate sheet. We'll come back to how to take notes.
Okay. Read, record, recite. Like out loud.
Ideally, yes.
Yeah.
After reading a section, stop. Look away from the book. Can you recite the key points in your own words? This checks if you actually understood and can recall it, not just recognize the words on the page.
Big difference there. Recall versus recognition.
Huge. And finally, review. Regularly go back over your notes in the material to keep it fresh and reinforce the learning.
So SQ4R is a whole system for attacking reading assignment.
A very powerful one. Now let's focus on that record part, note-taking, which is also tied to Rules 8 and 9.
Yeah, note-taking is tough. Some people write nothing. Some try to write everything the professor says.
Right, and both are pretty ineffective. Trying to write everything means you're just transcribing, not processing. You miss the main ideas.
So Rule 8 is?
Be a competent note-taker. Focus on the key stuff. Main points, important facts, definitions, core concepts. Lobdell suggests a simple method. Draw a vertical line down your page, maybe a third of the way from the left margin.
Okay.
On the left side of that line, jot down just the main ideas, the keywords, the core concepts from the lecture or reading. Keep it concise.
And the bigger space on the right.
That's for Rule 9. Elaborate on your notes. Do this as soon as possible after class or reading. Go back to those keywords on the left, and on the right side, flesh them out. Add details, examples, definitions, applications, connections, even questions you still have.
Ah, so you're actively processing and organizing right after. Why so soon?
Because if you wait even just a few hours, those brief notes on the left might look like nonsense. You'll forget the context. Elaborating immediately locks it in while it's fresh.
That makes sense. Your notes become a real learning tool, not just a transcript.
Exactly. It forces that deeper processing we talked about.
Okay, this connects back to that recognition versus recall issue, doesn't it? Especially with textbooks.
It really does. Think about underlining or highlighting. So many students do it.
Yeah, miles of yellow highlighter.
And then they reread the highlighted parts before a test and think, yep, I know this. But often they just recognize it. They haven't tested if they can recall it without looking.
That classic feeling. I knew it last night, but I blanked on the test.
That's often the recognition trap. You recognize the highlighted phrase, but you can't produce the information yourself when faced with a blank page or a question.
So Rule 10 must be about this.
Rule 10. Be certain you can actually recall what you've underlined or highlighted. Don't just reread. Test yourself. Cover the page. Explain the concept out loud.
Or even better, maybe. Take notes instead of just highlighting.
Precisely. Lobdell strongly advocates taking notes in the margins, putting the ideas into your own words. That act of summarizing and rephrasing forces you to process it more deeply than just passively dragging a highlighter across the author's words. It builds recallability.
Own words. Active processing. Got it. Okay, we've covered a lot of specific techniques. What about broader habits?
Right, some holistic things that support all of this. Rule 11. Regular attendance. Seems obvious, maybe.
Yeah, show up to class. But does it make that big a difference?
Studies consistently show it does. Higher attendance correlates strongly with higher grades. But it's more than just getting the information.
What else?
It's practice for life, for your career. Woody Allen's quote, 80% of success is just showing up. Being reliable, being present, employers value that immensely. It builds discipline.
Good point.
No.
Okay, attendance. What's 12?
Rule 12, the power of study groups, especially for challenging subjects.
I've had study groups that just turned into chat sessions.
That's the danger. You have to keep them focused. But a good study group is invaluable. You hear concepts explained in different ways. Someone else's perspective might unlock it for you.
And you can divide up the work, maybe.
Definitely. If there's a huge amount of reading, you can split it up. Each person becomes an expert on a section, and then you teach it to each other. Teaching is one of the absolute best ways to ensure deep learning.
Teaching forces you to really understand it. Okay, good point. Just got to stay on task.
Absolutely. And the final one, Rule 13, is maybe the most crucial and most ignored.
Let me guess. Sleep.
Bingo! Get enough sleep. All that learning you do, it gets consolidated, basically locked into your long-term memory while you sleep.
So if you study hard and then pull an all-nighter...
You're essentially wasting a lot of that study effort. The brain doesn't get the downtime it needs to file away the information properly. You might retain enough to scrape through a test the next morning.
But you haven't actually learned it long-term.
Exactly. Lobdell really emphasizes finding the time for sleep. Track your time for a week, see where those hours go, maybe less scrolling, more sleeping. It impacts everything: learning, mood, focus, even safety.
Wow. Okay, so it's a whole system. Breaks, environment, intention, meaning, processing, tools like mnemonics and SQ4R, good notes, avoiding the highlighting trap, showing up, working together, and sleeping.
That's a pretty good summary. The core idea running through it all is shifting from passive, often inefficient effort to active, strategic, deeper engagement with the material.
Study less, learn more. It's not just a catchy title.
It really isn't. It's about changing your whole approach. The goal isn't just to survive the course or tick the box on training.
It's to actually learn the stuff, make it part of you, so it's a worthwhile investment of your time and energy.
Exactly. Knowledge you actually retain and can use.
Okay, so final thought for everyone listening.
Maybe don't try to implement all 13 rules tomorrow. That might be overwhelming.
Good point. Baby steps.
Yeah, pick one. Or maybe two. Which one resonated most? Maybe try the 5-minute reinforced break this week. Or consciously set your intention before your next learning task. Or try that study lamp idea.
Just experiment with one small change.
Right. See how it feels. Notice the difference. And then maybe think bigger. How can applying these kinds of study skills consistently not just help you pass a test, but actually boost your entire learning journey, your whole career? How could becoming a smarter learner change things for you long term?